Welcome, I'm Chris O'Brien. It's the eve of Schoolies Week on the Gold Coast and one of the busiest weeks for police. But Gold Coast police are already pushed to their limits and are struggling to get other officers to work there. Imogen Brennan reports.
At about 9:30, the place suddenly changes. They can't explain why, but the mood changes and there is just a sea of people there who are drunk and drugged and just behave in ways that they would never normally behave.
I think we've got to acknowledge that this is party central as far as Queensland or the eastern seaboard of Australia goes.
It's the nation's most popular tourist destination. When darkness consumes the Gold Coast, swarms of people looking for fun make their way into Surfers Paradise, the beating heart of the coast's entertainment precincts. Surfers is home to more than 30 nightclubs that open until sunrise almost every day. Each night is someone else's turn to have their big celebration, a Bucks night or end-of-season footy trip. And while they're having the time of their lives, police are becoming increasingly frustrated.
People go there, they leave behind all their morals, they go there, they play up. We have very few police there, and the police often become victims of serious and dangerous assaults. And not only that, they see the worst of what human behaviour has to offer.
The police union says the Gold Coast can't be compared to the state's other nightclub precincts, like Brisbane's Fortitude Valley, because the coast has 75,000 tourists flocking to the region every week.
Many people fly from all over Australia to go and party for the weekend on the Gold Coast.
And the challenging part about that is that it's all tourists. It's part of those 75,000 people. And when we have schoolies here each year, we get in excess of 20,000 school leavers here for 3 to 4 weeks at any given time partying.
Assistant Commissioner Paul Wilson is in charge of the busiest region in the state. It stretches from south of Brisbane to the New South Wales border. Surfers Paradise is just one of 3 major entertainment precincts in his region, including Coolangatta and Broadbeach.
The arrest rate is still extremely high. There's up to 250 people on average appearing in the Southport Magistrates Court every day. In fact, I've had to increase my police prosecutors there to 24 to do the large volume of work that does occur.
Watch your feet, walk up the stairs.
He says, like any police commander, he'd like more officers. But when he advertises for vacancies at Surfers Paradise, he gets less than a handful of applications.
There is not a great attraction to come to the Gold Coast, particularly to Surfers Paradise where we advertise. And in recent times, we've only got a small number of 3 applicants to come. So the only way I do get police there is to allocate after they've graduated, after their first year of on-the-road rookies. They then become second years and we place them at Surfers Paradise.
About 120 officers are based at the Surfers Paradise Police Station. Officers here on the beat can work up to 7 8-hour night shifts in a row, dealing with thousands of drunk and drugged clubbers. And the union says it's no wonder police don't want to work here.
It takes its toll on the police, and as I've said before, the Gold Coast is a beautiful place to live and to visit, but a terrible place to work.
The Assistant Commissioner says he's well aware of the difficulties his officers deal with working on the coast. He's introduced a new rotational roster that the region is currently trialling in an effort to stop police from burning out.
With consent, we are trialling the second years on rotation throughout these areas. And there are officers that are putting up their hand. But conversely, there are other officers that like to stay at Surfers Paradise because it's a unique way of policing.
Not too bad.
And there is some reprieve for Surfers Paradise Police.
Currently we enjoy great support from the chill-out zone, and that's areas that we can send people rather than taking them to the watch house who've had too much to drink.
The chill-out zone cares for dozens of people every night who have drunk too much, taken drugs or been injured in fights.
We do some things really well because we've got a few stakeholders with their police or us that have been here for long enough that we know what works and what doesn't, and we're able to, I guess, swing different decisions and be able to say, you know, this is what we really need to look at.
The Coast Superintendent says it's taking time, but he is seeing some improvements.
If you were to go back years at Surfers Paradise, we used to see the rolling brawls from one end of the street to the other. Now, we don't see that anymore, and the rationale behind that is the early intervention strategies where we're getting them off the street at the first signs of trouble.
But the union believes the Gold Coast will only get better if more police are brought to the region. It says that will only happen if incentives are introduced to encourage police to make the move, and that's unlikely to occur.
In some of our rural and remote areas there is financial incentives, and then to get to those levels of incentives there's been quite heavy negotiations.
You can't keep moving around the chess pieces and hoping things will get better. Without a rapid injection of staff, the system is going to fail.